Yo, good morning, my friends. Welcome back. Episode number 76. We're getting to the 100 soon. Yes. How are you guys doing today? Welcome back. Good to see you all. Are we live? Everything correct? Yes. All right. Amazing. Good morning, Diaz. What's happening, my friend? Liv Barrett. Good evening. Yes, Bradley in the building. Good morning, my friend. Yo, Vivaldi. Good morning from Canggu. Very nice. Karan, what's up, man? How are you doing? Peter, good to see you. Tranka, good to see you. Derek, good to see you. Stefolog, man, good morning. Atlanta, good morning. Stas Extreme, good morning. Jolanta, hello. Mohammed, good morning, my friend. Yes, all right. Yeah, what's going on in gold? Let me know in the chat, please. What's going on with gold right now? Let me know. We're in a range. What's going on from here? Yeah? We're going to see what's popping. Okay. Perfect. Good morning, my friends. Let's make it a good session. Let's see what we have today in the chat, but also on the charts. Gold is showing some interesting levels to talk about, some interesting candles to talk about. And it's going to be an interesting session today. Yeah? Hope you're ready. Let's do it. Good morning. How are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another session. We're trying to stay as consistent as freaking possible. Only looking for the right setups, of course. Doing our absolute best every day to grow our accounts. That's the goal, to grow our accounts, to grow my account. We're up quite heavily right now. I want to continue that process in July. One thing that helped me tremendously with closing green is the trade management. The amount of TP1s I've hit. TP1s I've hit. Stop loss on break even scenarios where price eventually did came down to my entry again, but still making money. Ah man, that really is something that saved me in June a lot. Okay, a lot of times. If I just kept my trade open all the way until the end without managing it, I would have not been where I would be right now at this current moment. Anyways, we're gonna talk about order flow. The dollar. We have no news to deal with. That's great. No news. Nothing today. Nothing tomorrow. That's going to be easy. Okay. Nothing really to think about for the New York session later on. This is all preparation for hopefully some pretty cleaner price action. Okay. Let's see what we have then at this current moment on the gold chart. What are you guys are seeing in the chat? Let me know in the chat here. I've done some analysis. I want to show you something interesting. I've seen something. I've spotted something very nice. But I just want to know it from your side as well here. Abdu, can you do check on pivot? What is that? What is that? Fan from Syria. Let's see, man. Let's go. Doing something great. Let's see. Drop trend. Drop trend? How do we drop the trend? Expecting open high, low, close today, like SMT with silver at lows to confirm the low is in. Okay. Let's talk about something super interesting then. All right. Something super nice, super interesting. Something that I really like to look at all the time in the order flow. On the higher time frame, right? Not on the lower time frame, on the higher time frame. It's gonna be interesting. Okay, the coffee is on the way. Don't worry about that. That's coming. That's coming. The driver is on the way. He just messaged me. I'm on the way, boss. Sounds good. Sounds good. Waiting for the coffee to arrive as well. Okay. Anyways, a couple things that I want to show you right now here because we are on the 15-minute time frame. And yeah, one thing is for certain, we still are operating above the value area. Do you guys remember that? If you are completely new to the volume profile, just download my book. You learn about the volume profile because we'll be using it every day on stream, every day. Okay. Value area high is there. Value area low is there. And we're trading still above the value area. Okay. Of the previous week. So we came up, we pulled back down, and we're holding support inside of a range right now at the moment. So we're holding above it inside of a range. And we are getting supported by it. We're getting actually a little bit of absorption. We're seeing a little bit of absorption right there, okay? What do I mean with absorption? Well, I'm going to show you that in the order flow right now. It's going to be very interesting. This is the 4-hour time frame, okay? Look at the 4-hour time frame right here. And one thing about the 4-hour time frame is that you can spot high volume candles in the order flow very well, okay? You can also use just the volume bars right there. That's also another way you can do it. If you have the candlestick chart, you can use your volume bar and you can spot high volume 4-hour candles. And one thing that we can see here is a 4-hour candle that had 55,000 contracts traded in a single 4-hour candle right around there. Okay, that's this candle right around there. Okay, we're gonna zoom in on that candle real quick right there. That's this candle. Do you guys remember what this candle is? This is on a Thursday. Maybe you guys know what this candle is all about. Why I'm paying a lot of attention to this exact candle right now at the moment. Let me know what type of candle are we dealing with. 55,000 contracts, 871 bullish delta, a lot of buyers at the top. The NFP candle, yes sir. Yeah, that is the NFP candle, okay? So this is the candle of the NFP right there. And this is the volume was traded in the NFP right there, okay? And if we now look at the higher time frame, okay? NFP candle right there, and we look at where the volume was traded. Okay, you can see that there was 11,000 contracts traded at the top of that candle. A lot more buyers than, there were equal amount of buyers than sellers, but a lot more buyers in this overall candle right here. And if you just mark out a zone, okay, right around there, let's mark out a zone like that. Boom, right around there, okay? And we mark it out as a green because it's actually a green zone, right? We call that a green zone. We mark it out right there, boom. You can see that we are finding support right in that candle, right at the point of control of that candle, okay? That is where we're finding that 4-hour support right there, okay? Why do you think this is important? Why is this such an important thing to look at? Well, let's go back to the previous 4-hour candle of the NFP. Do you guys remember this candle of the NFP? That was a very negative candle. Remember for gold, dollar shoot up aggressively, remember? And that was actually right there. Do you guys remember the amount of volume was traded? 81,000 contracts. Do you guys remember that most of the volume was traded at the bottom? Do you guys remember that the point of control that kind of was there? And do you guys remember that we could never break it? We could never break that resistance right there. Every time when we tried, sellers came back in or buyers got stuck and trapped in their position right there. Every time when we tried to get back into it, we got rejected at it right there. Couldn't break it. Sellers stepped in. Right here, the FOMC manipulated everyone into thinking we're going to go up. and then we flip bearish inside of the NFP resistance right there. That's pretty crazy if we look at it from that perspective. Well, we had to wait another month for a new NFP to be printed. And this is the new NFP candle that we're seeing right there, okay? So for me, this has a lot of relevance, okay? And not particularly just because it's the NFP candle or whatever, it's just a high volume candle. But what I will look at always is how does price react and respond around that candle. And what you could see yesterday was a really good example of how price kept coming down. But a lot of sellers entered the market here. Also in the New York session here, look at that. A lot of sellers stepped in right around there. A lot of sellers stepped in right around there. A lot of sellers stepped in. Predominantly yesterday was a red day, right? Look at all that red right there at the bottom. But at the same time, price was not really at this moment in time breaking down any longer, right? Price was not breaking down. Sellers stepped in, but they didn't cut really anywhere, okay? So I hope you guys are interested in what we're looking at right now. We're seeing a lot of absorption of sellers, and now price is breaking down again, and we're heading back into this same NFP candle in a second here. So in my opinion, if we reach support here, it is very important to pay attention to this area, to this support, because we're dealing with a couple of very important levels for me. One of them is, of course, the higher time frame, previous weekly very high, which is the weekly value area right there. The top of it is sitting right there. At the same time, right, we have also a smaller range that we can deal with right there. We can work with on the 5-minute time frame. We do have a level to look into, and this is the point of control right there, okay? This is the point of control right around this area, the fixed point of control actually. And then we have a little bit of a zone right below that, which is the value area high, value area low, sorry. Very low, fixed very low. And then we have a box inside of it. We have a little bit of an area of support. I think this is an area of support actually where we are in right now at the moment. Okay, I know it looks very bearish at the moment, but I don't want to get fooled by looking at the price action just right now, because I do believe that we might find a little bit of support right now at this current moment here. Why? Because if you take yesterday's New York candle as well here, they can actually see that yesterday we had a lot of volume traded, of course, in the New York session with huge negative delta. That means there's so many sellers in the market here, all trying to short the market, but they didn't cut anywhere, right? They were all shorting in the NFP highs and they couldn't break anything, right? So eventually the candle closed above this. And guess where we are operating in right now at this current moment? We are actually operating inside of that NFP, or sorry, not NFP candle, that New York candle from yesterday, right around there. Okay, so this is what I've been using for a long period of time right now. I'm looking at high volume candles inside of the order flow or inside of the candlestick chart. You can also just use the volume bars on the candlestick chart. Look at where the most volume was traded in terms of candle, and then you combine it with price volume, or not time volume, but price volume, which is something like this right here, okay? Something like that. So in this case, we have found support right there. We're also a little bit undervalued right now at the moment, okay? We start to put some things together right now, start to build that story. So what I'm actually interested in, guys, in looking for longs because of this reason right now at the moment again, okay? I know that we are not looking super strong, but at the same time, we have found support. We are in a super important zone right here. And we are also in the point of control on the lower time frame. We're in an area where trapped sellers were located with high volume. And this is why I'm actually willing to go long right on the dot, right at this current moment, pretty much right now, right? Any pullback will be nice, but also this is for me already a level where I would say I will buy here potentially. And yeah, I think set my stop somewhere below the candle lows of yesterday. And instead of anticipating that the previous daily lows will be taken out, I'm anticipating that the previous daily lows will actually hold right now at this current moment throughout the Asian session, all right? So anyways, I'm willing to give this a shot personally and to just say, you know what, I like this buying zone potentially, and I will be targeting the same highs as before, which is pretty much that same range of the opening, okay, the opening highs right around there. And just see if we can potentially look for something like that where we could get into some buys, and hopefully we can push up again. All right, we're undervalued on the 5-minute. We're also reaching an undervaluation on the 15-minute. For me, this is very important that we never buy when we're overvalued, right? If you're overvalued, usually you tend to buy either the top or you tend to either get close to the top, right? When we're undervalued, we at least see some sort of a bounce, or we're getting close to a bounce. And also in a downtrend even, you can actually see that we are usually finding some sort of short-term bottom, okay? Right here, also right here, right? So we're really using these extremes to potentially time the market a little bit better. It helps for me a lot, but it will not work by itself. It's not like, oh, this is the only indicator you need in order to become profitable. But it does work, in my opinion, when you combine it with some other layers, okay? Such as valuation, order flow, the point of control of the range, things like that. And yeah, anyways, I'm kind of looking for longs right now at the moment, okay? At the same time, I think it's important to pay attention to the previous daily point of control. And because we're still in a counter trend, or in a range right now as well here, I would take profits around there. You know what I mean? I would take profits around that level right there, the point of control of the previous day, because I do think that we will find some resistance there around the point of control right there at the previous day. If we break that, I think our target is pretty straightforward, and that's pretty much the highs right there. Right? Something like that is what I will be looking for. And yeah, anyways, that's it, my friends. That's it. When was your last red day? You need to look in the Telegram. But it's been like 3 weeks plus, for sure. I had messed up trades in the beginning sometimes, though. Right? I had some messed up trades in the beginning. But yeah, that is all part of the game here. Okay? Oh, wow. Look at that push. You see, I cannot ruin it. I cannot ruin it. I cannot say my last red day was 3 weeks ago and then market destroys you immediately. Very interesting push though, by the way. Stop loss 412. Yeah, 4-1 below the NFP candle for sure. 4122. 4122. Complete disrespect today. Your neighbors are beating the USA right now, World Cup. I have not been looking at it right now at the moment. I will check it out later, man. Yeah, I will check it out later. Yeah, we're in that zone right now here, so we better just respect this level right here. That would be nice. And the peak candle is right there. I preferably not come down there again to the 30s, back again to the 30s. Well, let's see. If it has to be, then it has to be. Then I have to wait for the previous daily lows to be taken out. And try again, pretty much. But I hope we don't get there. Yeah, I think we have to go for the previous week very high. Yeah, let's do that. Why do you love to trade agent session? It's overall very, very clean price action. Very clean price action. I personally like it a lot. I think it's an amazing session. And it's a lot more volume than you think, right? It's not like nothing is happening. There's usually something happening. It's rarely that. I got to sell the previous daily very high. Yeah, it makes sense if you pretty much took a trade straight from the open immediately. All right, let me see here. What do we want to do? You got literally zero confirmation here. Okay, we're seeing a little bit of absorption. This start to like show some signs of like support. I'm tempted to place a limit order at the previous week very high as well. After the previous daily lows then are taken out. Shall we just do that? Because that makes also a lot of sense if we do get there. Which is right there again, of course. What are we gonna hold here? Yeah, the thing is the 50-minute closes in 1 minute. If we close below the point of control, I don't think that's like super good. Lorenzo, check the dollar. Yeah, the dollar is actually in a little bit of resistance. So I'm not really worried about the dollar too much. I'm just looking to see how do we close here. We know we're in a super important zone right now. That's no doubt. Let's put on the point of control. Absorption is coming. Honestly, if we would reclose above here, I will enter market. I think I know what to do now. If we reclose above here, I will enter market. I will set a limit order at the previous week very high already. So that is 4126. I think I will set the limit order there. Mm, 4126. Yeah, we don't get any confirmation here. That's not. I don't think we're gonna get any confirmation. We close below the very low. I'm gonna set the limit order at the 26. That's it. Buy limit for 126. And take this one right there, okay? So yes, we do probably have to take out the previous daily lows. We'll tap into the NLP highs and buy in there. Again, probably the same thing as before. Expecting to have just a lot of support there. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna set a buy limit 4126. Let's see what happens. What is this on futures? That allows me to at least manage it better. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's enter on futures as well today. Man, it's time for some coffee, especially when the market is coming down. Extra coffee needed. Yeah, it's probably this range too. Yeah, okay. All right. I think it's 37. That makes total sense here. Yeah, I'm going to set a limit order right there also. Buy limit. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna enter on futures today as well. Buy limit set at 4126, I guess, roughly speaking. Which is 413738 on futures. Okay. And yeah, let's see what happens, man. I told yesterday for gold sells, see it works. Yeah. I said if we would do this, and it's exactly played out, if we would break out, we consolidate, we break out, and we break down. We wait for the retracement right there. And then we see probably the sell-off towards the range, the previous range, remember? And that's exactly what we're seeing, actually. We call that a CME trade right there. CME trade. So in case we are wrong, price came out and boop, we went into the other direction. Regardless, for our longs, we still made money though. That's pretty good. But yeah, that would have been the counter offense, the other confirmation, right? If you would break down and then retrace and then sell off right there. So yeah, I agree. But I'm definitely willing to see if we could buy here around the 26 though. Okay. And yeah, potentially sending our stops below the low volume node right there. So that makes sense too. Yeah, something like that. And then of course taking profits along the way. I need to just calculate where exactly, because now we will be dealing with some sort of range. But I definitely expect the bounce after if he will take out the lows, especially in the NFP lows as well here. Man, zero confirmation though right there. No reaction, nothing. Just straight up. Where do we put your stop loss? 11. Yeah. Keep in mind, I enter on futures too today. So you can see that on this side of the screen, on the right side of the screen is the regular spot chart. Okay. At least want to target the previous daily POC, right? That's at least something that we look for. We have to be a bit cautious when we're trading below the point of control of yesterday, though. We always have to be take that a little bit with caution, but yeah, I'm still willing to do that. Just from higher time frame context right there. Question is, can we take out the previous daily loss? Let's see. Yeah, in terms of targets, we have a couple of levels to watch for, watch out for. Number one, we have probably the range, the point of control that we just talked about beforehand. I think that will be a gap to work with as well. Yeah, it's somewhere around there. Yeah, I think that area as well, it's where it's going to get very tricky, even if you pull up. Are there some big limit orders sitting around there? I mean, we have one up, we have a couple down. One is actually hitting right now at the moment. So we're close. But yeah, this is our major zone. What are your thoughts on the Elliott waves? I never really looked into them too much, to be honest. What about you? The Elliott waves. I have not been able to find something that really stood out about it, to be honest. I have been looking at some cycles and things like that, of course. Like we call it cycle analysis. I've been looking into that. Cyclical analysis, sorry. Not cycle analysis, cyclical analysis. Okay, we're finding a bit of support already at this level, which is not really a surprise that we react though. So I hope we don't pull back here. That will be a miss. That would be unfortunate if you would already pull back and simply hold this area and pull back really deeply, because that's what you don't want, right? We don't want a strong pullback right now and then a sell-off and then getting triggered into the buy limit, because that simply means that we miss out on that move, on that pullback, on that reaction. If we want to actually trade that first pullback, what is the logic to buy from 26? It's the previous weekly very high. So we have the very high of the previous weekly range. Okay, this is the whole week. Actually, can maybe look at it from this perspective right there. It's the whole week, okay? And this is the high of the week, the very high of the week. It has not been tested yet, and it has been it's actually below the previous daily lows. So you take out the previous daily lows and you tap into the previous weekly very high. So it becomes a very important level of interest. Then we have like a range here, a balanced area. And in that balanced area, we also have the point of control below that. We actually have another level that's sitting right below that level. So two very important levels that I'm watching right now. And we're already hit, we're already filled. So better see a reaction. What a timing. What a timing. Okay, first reaction is okay. It's a bit scared. A bit scared today. First reaction is okay though. That's nice. Okay. 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 Yeah. 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 It's a good start, right? But doesn't mean anything, yeah, but it's okay. Absorption, yeah. Level, yes. Okay. Fire high. Yeah. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Yeah, this is a level we need to watch out for. 37. Ooh. Ooh. 37. You know what? TP1. That was a quick one, my friends. Damn, that was a quick one. TP1. Yes, sir. Value area low of that range. Value area low of that range. We have to be aggressive. We're counter trend trading. Yes, we are. We are. So we have to be what? Aggressive. Yes, sir. Yes, we have. Bam, done. Boom, simple. Reaction, risk-free, no stress, take some profit out, you're chill. Woo! What a scary one was this one? That was a scary one. Not gonna lie, that was a little bit scary. I could feel it today. I don't know what happened today. I don't know what happened today. Oh, wow. Show me. Can you guys see it? Opa! Yeah. Yes, sir. The bottom. The bottom. Okay. Anyways, don't take it for granted. Take profits here. My suggestion to you, really, I'm not joking. Important. We're counter trend trading. No, never be too greedy in the counter trend. Okay. Please don't be too greedy in the counter trend. Please take profits. This is a good level to take profits, in my opinion. Okay. From the previous wiki, value area high. GP1 hit. Bottom fishing. Counter trend. Aggressive trade management. Okay. All right, done. Yeah, the previous daily low was a real thing, man. That's for sure. The previous daily low was a real thing. I had to be really patient with that one. Absolutely. Yes, we had to be a little bit patient with that one, indeed. I agree. Hmm? Yeah. What a push though, man. Damn. Straight up, previous week very high, and it's the NFP candle. It's a deadly candle. When we talk about the NFP candle, it's a deadly freaking candle, right? You cannot neglect the NFP candle. 55,000 contracts traded at the top there. Last time, remember? Last time was this NFP, was the NFP candle. We could never break that support, never break that resistance, sorry. We're now above it, and we are clearly holding that support again. But of course, when you want to enter in a manipulation event, right? So you want to enter when you take out the lows. I was planning to enter with a higher low, but we didn't see any confirmation that we liked at all. There was nothing to really look at. Nothing really to look at right there, okay? No confirmations. But once the lows were taken out, straight up limit order. No hesitation, just set a limit order. You're undervalued. And just take it aggressively, right? Without waiting for confirmation. Just straight up. Yeah. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's look in the order flow as well on the hourly right now at the moment. Yeah, a lot of sellers are trapped. People are selling the bottom, right? We will reach the VWAP soon. My suggestion, if you have not taken profits, this is where you take profits, really. Especially if you entered at the 26. Exactly at the 26. You are in a really good position. You're risk-free. You're up around 130 pips, 140 pips, but you will face a lot of resistance though. You know what I mean? You will face a lot of resistance here. Yeah. Okay. If you guys want to have more updates from me in Telegram, yesterday I was really busy. But if you guys want to have more updates from me in terms of what we do after the streams, in terms of new setups, if I see something else, or you like my video uploads, do you guys like my video ideas, my video analysis and stuff in Telegram, the free Telegram? Because if you guys like this, I can do this a lot more. Okay, also in the New York session, the London session, and just do my analysis for you guys and record like a 5-10 minute video. If you guys like that, then I can do this on a regular basis, okay? I'm willing to do that because I think it's awesome. I like it myself. I'll sit there anyways, right? To be here sometimes to trade the sessions, etc. So we can definitely start posting this in Telegram, okay? It's a free group. Free group. You can join it right there. We started this on the 15th of June when I started that new account right here, okay? I started that new account and we grew that account from 6 to 16,000 in 2 weeks or 10 days. And this is when we started the Telegram group at the 15th. And we have now almost, well, we have 4,000, how many? 4,530 people in our group right now. All right? 4,530 in the last 2 weeks. So we're going to grow this thing. We're going to make this, we're going to turn this into something. All right? We're going to turn this into something. Yeah, I think we're going to close it on futures right now. I have a bit tighter management on futures. And I'm going to hold on to my trade on MetaTrader 5. We already took profits there. And yeah, you guys already know. Okay. Going to hold on to that trade. Already taking profits. And next stop is the point of control and then the previous daily point of control. How much you started that account? Only with 5K, roughly speaking. It's like a live account, but it's a challenge I'm doing. It keeps me sharp. It keeps me focused. And I love doing these account challenges sometimes. Where you grow a small account into like a bigger account and things like that. But only from the streams. That's the rule. I can only take trades according to my analysis. Either on stream or either in Telegram. It has to be public. It has to be public. So I can't take trades secretly in the back end. You know? Yeah. Please start posting trade ideas before you activate your trade. We do this all the time. All the time. I don't know. We do this all the time. All the time. Yeah, yesterday you took a trade secretly and lost. Oh yeah. No, you're right. That was before the stream. I took a trade. But anyways, you would have seen that trade on the stream. And I showed it immediately on the stream. But you're actually correct about that one. That was that one trade. Yeah, these motherfuckers are sharp. You guys are sharp. That's true. Yeah, but that was a loss as well. But yeah, anyways. You see, that's what I get. That's what I deserve. That's what I deserve. But we ended the day in green. That was good though. Okay. I hope we can pull back at least to the point of control. That would be of the previous day. That would be incredible. That would be amazing. That would be incredible. Okay, I hope we can pull back. You have if you entered on the 26th, you have the best possible entry right now. There's nothing, in my opinion, better than that, unless you know, shorted the top in the morning. Right, that was probably the best of the best entry. But for this session, the 26 was definitely the best entry. When you do the YouTube live, then inform the Telegram. Same time, man. Usually around this time, bro. Every day. Okay. A little bit earlier today than before. A little bit earlier. I'm doing my best. Lorenzo, is your group already full? I mean the applications are still coming in. We're still going through a lot of things. We still have a lot of calls scheduled. So yeah, we're still working on it right now, but we have an overdose of applications for sure. There's no doubt. We had over 400 applications. So we're still going through all of them. A lot of them though, there are a lot of applications. We went through it and a lot of applications are not really like, wow, like people don't really want to put in the work and write a good application. They just want to like quickly say yes, no, I want to become profitable. I want to become good. Why? To get rich. You know, like a lot of those applications too, right? So there's a lot of, there are some good applications and there are a lot of ones that are like, mwah. You know what I mean? So we're still going through them. And yes, we still are open right now. You can still apply. But like I said, if you do that, please put in the work and put in some effort, man, because like, you know, it's otherwise it's just a waste. You know what I mean? So anyways, why do we want to look for longs around the previous weekly value high? Now, this is always something that I really value, okay? If we trade above the previous trading week, we're not trading above the previous trading week. So we did take out the previous weekly highs on a Monday, yesterday. But the thing is, we're still above the value area of the previous week. You see that? And the value area is really where it's at, okay? Really where it's at. Because when you trade above the value area of the previous week, like this is just a candle, right? This is like the previous weekly high and the previous weekly low right here. Low and high right here, okay? But that is not really always the most important. The most important part is this part. It's inside of the range. It's the highlighted zone where the most volume was traded. And if you mark out the value area high, right? Usually we'll find at least a reaction from it. And this is where we are right there. You see that? This is the value area high. This is where we reacted from. And this is why we wanted to buy there. Now, the good thing about this level is that we actually swept the previous daily lows at the same time. So you manipulated and took out the lows of yesterday. And you tapped into the previous weekly value high, which is very good because it allows people to, you know, we'll grab the lows and we'll tap into the previous weekly range, value area high, which is very good. We are also undervalued, okay, against the dollar. This is not an RSI, this is the dollar valuation index, okay? You put in the dollar here, so you say in day XY, then you say, okay, TVC, you say, okay, and then it gives you this. And then it gives you an understanding of how you are valued against the dollar according to the last 10 candles on the 15 minute. It creates like an average, you know what I mean? And that low is there, that low is there, that low is there, right? We have these lows, that low is here. And it's always better to buy when you're undervalued and to sell when you're overvalued. But the problem when you're overvalued is sometimes, you know, you're going against the trends. You have to be very careful with that. You cannot just say, oh, I'm going to use the indicator and it's going to make me profitable. No, it's a combination of everything. Right? It's a combination of the sweep, the previous week very high, and the undervaluation. Now, if you want to take it a step further, on the 4-hour time frame, we are tapping into the NFP candle. Yes, sir. A lot of absorption of sellers here. So many sellers are trying to short, but for some reason, they can't seem to push price down. We don't want to be part of those sellers, right? We want to be part of the buyers. We want to be part of that absorption on the other end. Right? So this is why we decided to go long and not short today. Okay? So it's kind of a summary. But it looked scary, man. But yeah, the best trades are the scariest trades. You know what I mean? The best trades are usually the scariest trade setups. And I'm not joking when I say that. The best trades are usually the scary ones. The ones that you would never think that would actually happen when you look at the candles. These are the trades that are going to be the best trades. So you need to just put your emotions aside. And you know what I mean? Straight up. Go for it. Wow, that's a big push though, my friends. Damn. Why is it scary? It's scary because price was just tanking like a waterfall, like the Titanic, you know what I mean, to the bottom of the ocean. And it just like didn't look like there was gonna be any reversal. And then out of nowhere, reversal, major reversal. To be honest, from this point onwards, I suggest you to manage your trade the way you want to manage your trade. Don't listen to me now. You're up significantly, right? This is a 200 pip move right now. Like really manage this trade yourself the way you want to manage this position right now at the moment, right? It's all out of your hands. Oh, in your own hands, sorry. I'm paying attention to a couple things. I'm paying attention to the low volume node here. Okay. That is an area which I think will find a lot of resistance, which is sitting right here. This is a level. I'm looking at the overvaluation right here. Okay. In case we're getting to an overvaluation. That's where I would consider closing it fully. But there's nothing wrong with taking profits in a counter trend trade. So I'm just saying. Who did enter at the 26 though? Let me know in the chat. I want to see if the chat actually did that 26, because that would be crazy today. Wow. Let me see the chat here if they actually did that. Holy shit. That's crazy. $29, okay. 28. 27. Damn. Yeah, manage it, man. Manage this shit. Point of control. But I'm really looking at this area right here, right? This is for me the major one. The 49. Yeah, 49, and then of course the 55. But the 49 is like my major level. It's a very high. It's the low volume node here. So I hope we can close above this level. But it could be that we're going to see rejection here also. So be careful with this. Manage this. Manage this. Bernardo, I entered at 4126 and used 25% of my 2K live account. But that's crazy. Don't do this ever again. Okay? Don't do this again. Don't do this again. Don't do this again. Maybe use the profits next time then or whatever. But don't do this again. Yeah. Man, how many calls do you... man, my team has a lot of calls today, yeah. Matter of fact, my girlfriend has to step in to call now as well here. Can you believe that? We had so many applications that I put my girlfriend to work. You know what I mean? So you might be talking to my girlfriend today. Yeah, there is a possibility that this could happen, right? So... yeah, because I had no choice. I literally had no choice. Yeah. Obviously, this is paid, so keep that in mind. We don't usually do this a lot. This is something that I do every 6 to 8 weeks. Okay? And then it's usually for a small group of people in an elite group that we work with. It's a complete program. You get all my tools, you get my templates, you get my Xau charts, you get... whatever, everything needed to get you the results. We talked about this already so many times. And it's a very specific system. But it's more than just a system, right? It's about understanding the market conditions. That's one of the big layers. You have a system, you learn that system in a couple weeks. Then it's all about the nuances, the context. How to differentiate a ranging market from a trending market, when to take counter trend trades, when not to take counter trend trades, how to take counter trend trades, when not to manage them aggressively, when to do manage them aggressively, like all those nuances. Because if I would just trade with the trend or I would just trade one thing, I would be trading much less. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way, but if you want to trade, if you want to become a day trader and you want to trade on a daily basis every day, you need to adapt to the market conditions, right? Because it could be that you are really good at ranging trading trends, but you're horrible at ranging markets when the market consolidates, right? Now, you can't trade every day then. Because if that's the case, you were not always every day in a trending market. So if you don't know how to deal with that, then you're going to give back all the money you made. Hey Lorenzo, I haven't heard back about my application yet. Is that normal? Yes. Yes, it could be. Because we had so many applications that we are now dealing with reaching out to people. And yeah, my suggestion, if you filled in a good application, you haven't got back yet, then please wait, okay? Give it a couple days. And we'll get back to you, okay? Derek, I'm up 87% on my second evaluation, courtesy of the LTA concepts, staying disciplined and trusting the process. Can't wait to get funded. Thanks, Lorenzo. Wow. Congratulations, man. If you are completely new to trading, there is one thing I always recommend you to do before you even consider. Don't even apply if you're new, because this is not for the beginners, okay? This thing that I talked about is not for beginners, because I'm not going to explain you how candlesticks work, you know, from a perspective of the basics. But you can download my book. It's a big book about the volume profile, everything that we just talked about, the very high, the weekly profile here. This is what we did today. The weekly volume profile, And we talked about the previous weekly value area high, right? Previous weekly value area high, previous weekly value area low, things like that. And you learn about this very easily. You just read a couple pages in terms of today, the weekly profile, start at page number 36. And it shows you all the examples, right? Of why we look at it from this perspective right there. So you can download this for free completely. You don't have to pay for this at all. And you can join my Telegram, you can join my journal. And I will be posting more videos like these as well here to do a full breakdown. Okay? And my daily analysis, things like that. So that's the next step in our Telegram group. More video breakdowns, video analysis right there. So yeah. This TP is the short entrance. I don't know, it could be, but I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not really a big fan of it. But it could be. But there is a lot of absorption here. You see that of all the sellers. Every time sellers try to enter here, we're getting an absorption by the NFP candle. Right there. So I prefer to be on the opposite side of the market and go long instead of short. Yeah, you can kind of see now that the point of control is kind of holding us back here. Yeah. Which is this level right there. It's kind of holding us down. So if you have not taken profits yet, then this is, in my opinion, the moment to do so. It's so easy to be greedy here. I would not be greedy here. Is your TP 100 pips? In this case, yes. 120. But it's not standard. It's the very low, actually. It's the very low, right? Yeah. Dollar is shooting up a little bit too. Not super strong though, the dollar, to be honest. Dollar is not looking super strong. Yeah, I really hope we can get there. At least to the 50. Or 50. But we might see that rejection at 45 too. We marked it level out before already, the point of control of that range. But I hope we can break that and move to the 50. Or 55, somewhere around this area. But the 50 is the most important zone, I think, because that's the low volume node. And you can see how important that area is, right? Very important level. But even right now, right? Our entry is literally at the bottom. It could be that we just retrace and just do something like this, for example, as well. Right, it could easily be that we are looking for something similar to that. Then we move somewhere back down again, you know, towards the lows, for example. And then we just hold that level, for example. But yeah, taking profits was an absolute must there. Would you ever move your break-even stop into profit? I mean, in this case, I would say you could trail it. But I think that taking profits for me is usually the best, especially when I still see potential. Because if I still see the potential, the last thing that I want is to trail my stop, get stopped out, and then move higher. So I'd rather just take profits and set my stop loss and break even. Especially when you have such good entries, you know, like, and there is more potential. Yeah, the point of control is definitely holding that resistance at the moment, right? Where can I download your book? In the description, man. You can find in the description in the chat. I think the dollar is pushing back a little bit. Is that correct? Look at the dollar. Yeah, dollar is finding a bit of support here. You can kind of see the dollar holding these wicks. But it's not super strong. It's not like, wow, right? It's not like that the dollar is like super reversing strongly right now at the moment. I think we're just getting rejected at the VWAP as well here. Yeah, the VWAP, yeah. VWAP. Okay. Honestly, Lorenzo, this is such a beautiful example of your trading system. It's textbook. Yeah, these are one of those beauties. These are one of those beauties where everything looks so super bearish. And then out of nowhere, you literally snipe the bottom and you flip bullish. Exactly. And yeah, the thing is, you can't hesitate. You cannot hesitate. That's why when you take these setups right there was no chance. If we would have waited for a confirmation here, we would have never got into the trade because it would have just taken us and it would eventually close here. And then what? We entered there. You know what I mean? That would be already way too high. I mean, it was still fine, but that would have been too high, right? That's a big difference. Entering here or entering, yeah, here, for example. So we had to really snipe it and just not hesitate, set a limit order and go against it. The risk is that you just break through it, but the value high of the previous week is such an important level. Yeah, the question is, will we find a higher low here? Right, will we create some sort of higher low? Specifically around the lows here, where we found the previous support right here, right? Somewhere around here. Ahmed, I just applied for the hybrid trading system. I'm wondering how long it would take to review my application, and do I even get notified if I'm not selected? Unfortunately, we cannot message you when you're not selected because we just don't know how to reach the 400 people. It'll be very hard to do because everything has to be done manually, unfortunately. But we'll do our best. We'll do our absolute best. Okay, we're still seeing a little bit of an absorption here. The only thing that we're starting to see now is that the valuation is creeping up here. So that means that gold is losing a little bit of its momentum here. On the 50-minute, we still have a long way. But in the short term, yeah, I think we might have to indeed get there. Get towards the lows here and maybe find support around around this area. I would not be surprised if we pull back a little bit deeper. But that's the thing about your entry right now. You have such a good entry. If you entered with us right here at the 26, you took profits either here or a little bit higher. Yeah, you can literally sit this out and just chill and wait. Because there are moments where you could still hold here and bounce. We're now back at the very low. That's where we took profits initially. Okay. Yeah, that is a beautiful Tuesday morning. Yesterday we had some similar setups. Yesterday we took 2 trades as well. It was a bit more, yeah, also quite aggressive, I have to say, yesterday. But we actually took a long and then price after that came down, but we managed to cut out, take our profits. And again, it just proves every time that it's never a wrong idea to take profits in the markets, to get in, to get out, to make our money, and to just do our thing. At some point we were running though, we were running like $2,500 right there. We ended up making around 1,700, 1,600 net, 1,600 profit. But yeah, again, also counter trend. We did right by taking profits and just you know, get out and watch the market turn around. Do we have another setup? The thing is, yeah, I would be looking at this area if you get there. But now that we're reacting so strong here, I'm not sure if you even get there now, to be honest. I don't know. I'm personally not scaling into anything. We just have such a good entry. Scaling, yeah, I mean, no, not really. Not really. Right now. Wow, look at that, guys. That's good. That is good. That is good. That is a strong push. I don't know what that is, but that's a good push. We just need to close above the point of control. Okay, that's it. That's all we're asking. We need to close above the 44. That's where we are facing that resistance. We need to close above that. There's this one song that I like. You know, you guys, you know which song I mean? Let me actually show you right now. We need that one song to drive gold to that next dimension right there. How do we call that song? One second. Yes. Push it higher. Okay. Sorry, guys. We had to do this in between here. Needed gold to push up a little bit higher. This is our song. We use it in good and in bad times. In good and in bad times, we use this song. It helps with the consumer sentiment. Sorry, the consumer confidence. Come on. Can we break it? The point of control. Yeah, that's the thing. The 44 I suggest again to take profits at the 44 if you have not. Like, I can't repeat it enough how important taking profits is in a counter trend. It really changed my trajectory as a trader, is knowing when to take profits, knowing when not to take profits, knowing when to let trades run, and know when to just cut them short, etc. But it starts with taking profits and not being greedy. Like, that's the #1 killer. But you can't be too cautious either, right? So you need to find the nuances. You need to find the right balance. So you need to have a system for that. A system that makes sense. Because this level is a real level, man. The 44 is something that doesn't want to break. And it's also the VWAP, I believe. It's also the VWAP, and that's why. You see that? We need to close above the VWAP, and then we'll most likely to start. We go straight to RTP. But yeah, you see all that selling here? All that selling came in here at the lows, right? You can see all the sellers stepping in here. Sellers here, sellers here, sellers here, sellers here. Huge amount of volume too. And then boom, one candle just breaks that. Now we have a huge area of trapped sellers. Where are those trapped sellers located? Those trapped sellers are located right here. You see that? So that should become support now. That should become support for us. Because there is nothing that the market loves to do more than trapping market participants in one direction, using them as fuel for the reversal. And this could be that zone, okay? Right around there, this area right there. And we already bounced from this area quite aggressively in the previous 15-minute candle. So in case you wonder, why did we shoot up so much, so aggressively? It was because of that. Okay, we tapped into that area where all those sellers exited their position. Probably. So price came down, sellers decided to exit, causing buying pressure. Yep. Interesting thought process, but that's usually what we saw, I think, around here when we tapped into it. But yeah, there is no follow through yet because we do face resistance at the point of control and the VWAP. Okay. Now the VWAP on the candlestick chart is not always the same as the VWAP on the actual order flow chart, which is actually something I learned. These are much more reliable. Okay. Much more reliable than the ones on your trading view chart. I don't know why. It's probably the distribution of the volume that is slightly different. But yeah. The link of the book is not working. It should be working. Yeah. And if it doesn't work, you need to be patient. People will receive their book. It sometimes just takes sometimes like an hour. I don't know why. Before it was like very quick, and now it takes a long time before it actually gets to you. I don't know why. I'm still figuring out. I'm contacting their support too. Asking why do people not receive their book in like 2 minutes? Like, why is it such a big deal? And before it was 2 minutes, so I don't know why it suddenly takes like longer and stuff. Okay. Remove the W from the link in the description. Okay. Yes. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. That made all the difference. You're correct. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I've done this. Thank you, man. Thank you. That is indeed what happened here. Yeah. One thing is for certain, the VWAP is significant. The VWAP is a huge level every time. So important. Yeah, it's such an important level. Especially when the volume slows down a little bit. It's really hard to break it. It's really hard to break it. Yeah, so I hope we can. And if you have to come down a little bit more, and hopefully we react from this area, which is then this going to be, it's going to be this zone right here. Specifically this area. But yeah, I would still, even if you say, okay, like I think that I want to get out of the trade, I would still leave like a smaller percentage running them. Because yeah, there's just too much. If you enter the 26, the entries are just too good right there. There's still a lot of potential. The VWAP is the volume weighted average price, okay? And the best and the easiest way to explain it is just the VWAP gives you a really good understanding of who is actually in control according to the volume and who is mostly in profit according to the volume, okay? If you're trading below it, most of the sellers are still either in control or are mostly in profit, right? That's just the easiest way I could explain this. And it's also a great part of this gold hybrid trading system as well, because it's also volume based. It's not like a moving average or, you know, a trend line or anything like that, right? No, it is it's all built around the volume profiles or the volume execution, sorry, not the volume profile. So the combination of the volume profile and the VWAP are very good combinations by default because they go hand in hand as well. There's some good strategies that come from this. But that's another beauty, right? And this is what I'm saying. This is where we are in the trapped sellers. You see that? We bounce from it again. Do you guys see how crazy, how important that is? Let me know if you guys understand this. It's a lot of sellers. So for example, in the order flow right here, the red box means more sellers than buyers. Entered there, entered there, entered there, right? Where it's green, there are more buyers than sellers, okay? Market execution. Now, a lot of volume was traded at the bottom here. 1.6K, 1.4K, okay? Now, what did we do? We closed above it aggressively. So we entered at the bottom, and then buyers stepped in at the top. And now all these sellers are stuck in their position because they're like, oh shit, I thought price was going to go down. And now price comes back into those areas where those sellers were stuck. And now they're exiting their position. That causes buying pressure because if you get rid of your sell, you need to buy. That's how the market works. You know, if you want to get rid of your sell, someone has to buy it from you. So it creates buying pressure. Now, that's an exact zone that we call a trapped sellers imbalance. And that is an area of strength. That's where you want to buy. It's an area not where you want to sell. It's where you usually want to buy. And yeah, the good thing that you could do is you could say, okay, I'm going to put my stop loss below that level, for example. That could be, you could trail it into that. But that's the overall thought process, pretty much, of why that is now a very good position to be in. Now, we entered. We didn't look on that confirmation, right? We didn't wait for this to happen and then to close above. Is this a good buy? Yes, potentially. But we entered for a different reason. And then it has to do much more with the 4-hour order flow. The NFP candle. The absorption that has been taking place here all day long yesterday. The previous weekly very high. Of the previous weekly range. The retest of that. And the sweep of the previous daily low. But if you can just ask someone to just break this level, that would be nice. Because the absorption is great, the reactions are beautiful, but for some magical reason, the 44 does not want to break. Yeah, you need to refresh the page then, because I removed the www right there. Okay. So if you refresh it, you will be able to read the book or get to the book. Yeah, it is a crazy level, the point of control. It's something that you also not really can spot very well when you are just trading horizontal support or resistance or whatever, because you don't really see a clear support or resistance level here, right? It's pretty messy. It's hard to spot this, but the volume profile helps you with this. Can you make one session and explain your method with volume-based trading and order flow? I think we'll do this in Telegram. I'll post more videos soon, like I promised to do. So just join the Telegram group. The free group. I don't have a paid Telegram group, but yeah, I just have one Telegram group. In your book, you don't mention the VWAP. Correct. Because the LTA concept trading war map is all about my general knowledge, about the volume profile, about volume. It sets a good foundation. The actual gold hybrid trading system is something that stems from that, but it's more advanced, right? It's even deeper than the trading war map. But the trading war map sets the tone. It's super important to know that foundation, to learn that foundation as well. Because without that, there is no gold hybrid trading system. But man, that level does not want to hold or break. Look at that. Does not want to break. And it's crazy because there's so much absorption here too. This is a very tight range right now. On the 1 minute time frame, we're literally in this range right here on a 1 minute. People are buying the bottom and people are selling the top, pretty much. Luckily, if your entry is right there, you don't have to worry about the range too much. And we have still a major area of support here as well. So we could easily do something like this. Unless the dollar is just going bananas right now. Yeah, the dollar is hesitating a little bit. That's for sure. The dollar is always a bit is a little bit annoying today. Again. What do you think of the future of market trading, YouTube? What do you see for the future of the industry of social media and trading aside from the scam stuff? I think that people will appreciate guys like us a lot more. And when I say guys like us, I say guys that stream live on YouTube every day. Or not every day, but stream live multiple days a week. You see all their wins, you see all their losses. I think, to be really honest, I get a lot of respect, right? A lot of respect from people. But in terms of the general public still likes to live in an illusion. And when I say an illusion, I mean the general public still likes to believe in fantasies. Because that's something that they can rely, that's something that they feel more comfortable with. I think they can't deal with the reality of trading, which is usually not just only about winning. It's also about losing. And it's also about making money by the end of the month consistently, right? That's what this whole thing is about here. It's very easy to hide your losses. It's very easy to show your big trades. And it's what works from a marketing perspective. And people love it. People love that. It's just the truth. People love to live in a fantasy. So when guys like live traders come along, you see the real side of trading, what every trader experiences, but not every trader shows. So all the big influencer guys that you see that show all their wins and stuff, going to losing streaks too, but they're not talking about the losing streaks. They don't do that. They don't talk about that. Okay? Because they know that the moment they do that, they lose 30% of their audience. Right? Because the general public wants to believe in fantasies. That's the game. That's the contradiction. That's the conflict of interest. But if you build a foundation of transparency and you do that for a long period of time, you build a really strong core, a really strong foundation. But that means you have to be willing to go through that for a long period of time too. And not everyone is willing to do that. So that's why I have a lot of guys that trade live on a daily basis for a long period of time. Because it's not something that everyone can do, in my opinion, or is willing to do. A lot of day trading streamers are fake. They only show winnings, not how much they spend on prop firms. They often make money by selling props. They will tweet them prop companies to get more money. Really? Yeah, the problem is, like, if you trade every day, like, you trade every day, right? Like, it's like hard to hide your wins, your losses, I guess. Like right now, we're in a really long winning streak, like for the last 3 weeks and stuff. But there are periods where I will lose too. There are gonna be a moment when I will start losing, which is normal, completely normal. And that's gonna be the period where people will leave the street temporarily until I start winning again. That's just how it works. That's just how the game works, you know? But that's not who I'm streaming for. I'm streaming for the person who shows up every day, who is willing to go through the fire, who is willing to go through the good and the bad things, because that's how we make money by the end of the month. Yeah, it's that consistently showing up Then it's gonna give you the most and the most perspective of how the system really works and why it works. Wow, damn. That bounce is real, man. That bounce is absolutely real. That absorption there is like, this is what I'm saying with these trapped sellers. It doesn't want to break it, but like, we do have these highs too there. Like, you know, we're stuck. We're stuck. We need to break and close above that. It's unbelievable. It's truly unbelievable what we're seeing right now. Look at that. We shoot up and we come down. Gee, look at the 15-minute. Look at that. Yeah. It's getting out of control, to be honest. We know how important this level is, like there's no doubt, but at the same time, you do see how we really need to close above it in order to really break and get to the 50s. It's indeed a nasty range on the 1 minute. Yeah, let's at least see if we can, you know what I mean? Like try to get back and at least take those highs out again. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Are you in Ubud? No, I'm not in Ubud. I'm in Canggu area. The thing about the dollar right now, this is actually a very important moment for the dollar. If you go to the dollar right now, you can actually see that we are in the point of control. You see that? So the dollar had like the 5-minute range that we created yesterday. We had the range right there. We created and manipulated the highs and we broke down. And now we're retracing and we tapped into the point of control of that range. You see that? And now we're breaking down. So if we break down, gold will most likely break out finally. And this is what we call a CME, right? A CME. It's when you create a range, you manipulate the highs, and then you break down and you retrace into the point of control. And you find to take out the lows again, right? That's kind of the ideal. But yeah, that's what needs to happen in order for gold to break out, I guess. Iris says, man, $306 loss to $272 profit. Crazy trade. Crazy entry. Wow. I hope you take profits though, man. Can we break out, guys? Yeah, dollar. Dollar needs to chill. Dollar needs to chill. So you're in Bali? Yes, I'm in Bali, correct. Yeah. If there's something you guys can do to help me out, that would be really appreciated, is to smash up that like button. I would love to reach the 1,000 likes today. That would be amazing. In an Asian session, can you believe that? An Asian session. We have 1,800 people watching, so you know, should be able to reach that. That would be amazing. Don't ask for it too much, by the way. But sometimes I have to. Sometimes I have to. But man, like that TP1, sorry, the TP1, that range is insane. Because like every time when we get towards this point, we shoot up and you think this is going to be the moment. This is going to be the breakdown. This is going to be the breakout. Every time. And then every time we just get rejected right there at the top as well. The amount of buys you could have taken at the bottom and exited at the top. No, I'm rather in a really good trade, right? Than in like these smaller, really smaller scalps in this case, in this example. Yeah, the indicators show that we're overvalued, yeah. And that's why we're in this case ranging. But at some point we'll get down there and we'll probably get down there. And I think that is a buying area, to be honest with you guys. I think that if price would come down and it would break the lows again, that is a level to buy. But we need to be undervalued. And we need to create some snappy breakdown and then take out the lows and then shoot up again, a CME pretty much, but then on the lower time frame. It's a bit more tricky, but not unreasonable of so. Yeah, let's see what's happening here on the candles themselves, right? You know what the interesting part is right now? Is that there are so many people entering sells, it is ridiculous, okay? Like, ever since we entered, the only green candle that we see here is this candle right here on the 15-minute, right? It's this candle right there. And most of the volume, okay, there are more buyers here, there are more sellers here, slightly more buyers here, but predominantly more sellers are still entering the market. Somehow, a lot of people still think that the market is going to dump. But I've not seen, and you have to understand this. This is what we call a delta divergence, okay? A delta divergence is the following, or means the following here. A delta divergence is when there is huge delta, negative delta, okay? So this is a 500 negative delta. This is a 650 negative delta. What is delta? Delta is aggressive buyers minus aggressive sellers. So market buyers minus market sellers. So market buy minus market sell. Okay? So if there are, let's say, 100 buyers and 80 sellers, the delta is 20. If there are 80 sellers, right? If there are 100 sellers but 80 buyers, the market is minus 20. Okay? Because it's always market buy minus market sell. Now, in this case, it's minus 600. Okay, minus 655. In this 4-hour candle, so many more sellers entered the market. Okay, aggressively. Same thing here in New York. The New York candle yesterday, minus 500. So many more sellers. Well, if that's the case, right? If there are so many more sellers, why is price not breaking support? Why is price not breaking down? Right? That is called the divergence. We're seeing a divergence. Price is flat, but the delta is super negative. Yeah? So that is why we say, listen, there's an absorption of sellers. There's like a buyer, a passive buyer, larger buyer present in the market who's absorbing all those sellers. And a lot of people believe the market is going to drop and going to come down, but price is not willing to get there. And the friction that we're facing now is that the market is really choppy because of that. There is no clear direction, right? There is like above sellers, but also a lot of absorption as well. So there's a constant battle happening right now. Okay? Anyways. We did fail to break that 44 level. We are now in that zone. So I'm very curious to see what happens here, man. I'm really curious to see if price can react from this area, or if price is just going to come down and revisit the lows again. But let's see what happens here. For now, we have the range. We're now breaking. And we're now in that area. Look at that right there. Like, I would actually not be surprised if you would see an impulse. Would not be surprised. If I'm not mistaken, we're in that 15-minute. Yeah, we're here right now, right? Yeah. Yeah, look at that reaction. Not the strongest, but yeah, you can tell. You can tell we're in a new zone again. Oh, this is in a nasty, nasty range we're in. Are you willing to buy again here? No, not really, no. But it's still important to look at this area and to mark it out. Okay, well, no chance that we, no reaction here, no proper reaction. Initial impulse, great, but immediate reversal. The point of control could not be broken. No reaction. Wow. Okay. Trent is my friend. Says I booked 100% at 4143. Okay, good. Taking profits was a must. Counter trend trades, so you have to take profits. You have to. We said it so many times here, but we're still holding at support. What is your expected return, if you don't mind asking? I don't really set expectations every week, every day. I just trade the best setup every day. I show up every day and I take profits every day. I'm doing my best too. And that's how I grow personally. Is to just show up, do my best, and take the entries. And this is how we have been, consistently green for the past, 3 weeks now. And a lot of them came actually from taking profits early, at the right moment. Did Lorenzo take a short? No, I did not. You guys can see my entry, my TP. My entry was at 4126. Alex, bro, please turn up the music on donations. This community is incredible. I'm happy to donate towards giveaways. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Awesome, my friend. Thank you very much. You don't have to donate anything, but I really appreciate your message, man. Just in general. Alex, you're always there. The moderator is well in the chat. Shout out to Alex, man. Shout out to Alex. Is the Asia session good for gold trading? What do you guys think in the chat? I love the Asian session, man. I love the Asian session. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. It's really, really fun. Yeah, there are some boring days in between, but that's in every session. Right? In every session it happens when there is just nothing happening, whatever the case may be. But generally speaking, it is a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. Okay? It definitely is. It definitely is. Really enjoying it. And for me, it's super easy right now at the moment. It's super easy. Because from my side right now, I wake up, do the stream. We have been streaming for what? 2 hours right now. Usually I stop around this period, around this time. And I've done it. Like I made my money, I wake up, I make my money. And I'm here in Bali and I'm like, boom. Okay, now I'm done. What's next? Straight to the gym, usually. Straight to the freaking gym, okay? And if you guys think I'm not serious in the gym, because I have a back injury, so I can't do a lot of boxing anymore, unfortunately. Because I'm healing my back, okay? But yeah, straight to the gym usually, right? And after the stream, after the gym, usually have some lunch. After lunch, get a tan. You know, I need a tan. I'm a white boy, you know, I need a tan. I need a tan. Looks better when life is better when a tan. Everyone knows that, right? And then after that, calls, work, community. Be there for the community. Calls, videos, sessions, whatever is needed for the group and the community right there. Yes, sir. Somehow we're still respecting the lows. We're still respecting that support there. Yeah, a reclaim inside that range will be considered really strong, right? We all know that. If price would reclaim this range again, in the 1 minute, for example, if price decides to just do this right now, like we talked about, right? It ranges, it goes and takes out all the lows, it bounces, it pushes into it. Yeah, that is considered really bullish. That's considered really strong. But it could easily be that this is the rejection and we're gonna just calm down. So if you don't trust it, you can exit your complete position in full if you took profit. Some people closed their position already at the 43 I've read in the chat. I've taken out some profits here. A decent amount of profits here, which I'm content with. If price does this, okay. If price breaks into the range, yeah, you bet we're gonna go there. Yeah, it's the same level. Wow. I've been shorting since the 4160. That's nice. That's a good short. That's a good short then. That's a very good level because even if price would go up, we'll face a lot of resistance here. So you're in a very good position then. Yeah. And we're breaking back above again. Wow. At least we're trying to. We're trying to. Dollar being rejected? Yes, at the very high. Yes, exactly. Okay, that changes everything. If the dollar closes below the point of control again, then yeah, it was indeed the manipulation. Then that would be considered the manipulation, yeah. But the dollar is very tricky. The dollar never shows its true intentions. The dollar is a tricky asset. It's very sporadic. How much time it took you to master trading, at least, to make more profit than losses? So what I had with a long time when I developed the gold hybrid trading system, which is like higher time frame correlation, valuation, order flow and stuff, and the volume profile. I was actually getting into like really good trades. But at the beginning stages, I was not making consistent profits with it because I was not able to manage it correctly. So I was kind of like getting into really good positions, but like I kept coming back to my break even, or I kept going from a win to loss, like up in profit and like, you know, but every time, most of the time I was actually correct about my analysis or about my entry. And that means that I had to do something about it. I had to really start thinking about not just the strategy in the system in terms of execution, but also about management. And whenever I tried something, you know, usually it kind of worked, but also in only one specific condition, a trending market. Yeah, it's easy, right? To have a criteria. But what about ranging markets? What about trend reversals? What about the counter trend scenarios? What about news events, you know, news scandals, things like that? How do you manage that, right? So there are a lot more things to it than just execution, entry, stop loss, things like that. I think that the management of the trade, knowing when to take profits and when not to take profits, and how much to take out, that is the true edge. That actually leveled up the strategy. The strategy was not the problem here. It was the strategy in combination with the trade management and the risk management. Yeah, that was the big deal. That was the game changer. Now, of course, you need a strategy. You need a system that works, right? You need something that works in the first place. Because if you don't have that, you can't even think about management. But management is the next step. Okay. So yeah, managing trades correctly, I would say, is truly, because in the last 3 weeks when we have been winning, we grew the account from 5,000 to now 17,000 in like the last 2 weeks. If I didn't close profits early, or if I didn't take profits early at certain moments, I had a lot more losses or a lot more break-even trades where I did not make any money. And you think, yeah, those small trades, like taking profits, like it's just annoying because it messes up your overall profit. Well, it really compounds though. Like these small profits really compound over time. You just don't notice it. But if you do 10 of those, it's suddenly a big deal. You suddenly make money. So compounding those profits to smaller profits really makes sense. Ahmed says, I programmed an RSI plus correlation plus volume profile plus money flow in one bot, which I learned from you, and it's somehow profitable. Thank you. What is missing? Teach me more about risk management. Awesome, man. Do you have a strategy to use order flow? Use order flow by itself? Order flow is just it's just part of it. Specifically the higher time frame, actually. The higher time frame order flow, not the lower time frame. The 4 hour, the daily, the weekly, the 1 hour. And the 15-minute is more to see what's happening now, how to manage the trades, things like that. Yeah. Yeah, it looked very bad, and now suddenly we're back in the range again. Or we're trying to break back into the range again. And now we're back. We're trying to pull back again. So we held that low here. And we're holding that support. Oh. And our entry was at the 14126. How many gold contracts do you trade at a time on futures? 5 micros, I think, or like 1. Sometimes 10 micros, sorry, that's 1 mini. And on my MetaTrader 5 account, I always trade 1 lot. Just 1 lot. Standard 1 lot. And then I increase it over time, I would say. Yeah, the volume is slowing down a little bit, guys. But again, we managed to pull back. We managed to hold support for now. I'm going to give it a little bit more time, man. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. To see if we can cause some volume here. Otherwise, yeah, we know our entry. We know what to do. We know what to look for. We know how to manage it. You can get out, you can take profits, whatever you want to do. But we're currently holding support right here at this area. You can actually see it quite well. Also in the 1 hour time frame. You are at support here. And you are reacting at support here. Every time when we tap into it, you are reacting from it. MSPRKR says, did you know it's really hard to get approval for a futures account in Australia? It's normally at cash account if they approve you, but 0 leverage. Any broker advice for a leverage futures account? Australia, I don't know. Is that, what broker did you use? Have you tried Trade of Fate? By any chance? Hi, Lorenzo. How often do you add onto winning positions? Only in a trending market where the bias is very clear when we're trading with the trend and when we're looking for clean pullbacks. And the price action works. The price action is clean. The correlation is good. So usually only then. Trading with the trend in a trending market. Yeah, so the conclusion is that gold is just in a range. We are facing resistance at the top and major support at the bottom. And I think gold has to make its decision. Now, the higher time frame is showing that we're also bouncing from very important levels right around there. Okay, and that is, of course, this hourly support or the 4-hour NFP candle. This is the big one. So, yeah, the lower time frame needs to make its decision, I would say. Yeah, try trade evade. I think that there's a bit more chance that you'll get more out of that one. Yeah. Why did you choose Bali to stay instead of the Philippines? Bali has a lot of investment opportunities right now. People talk down on it a lot, but it's actually growing like crazy. And there are a lot of investment opportunities here. As soon as you say you're Australian, they kick the Australian leverage the laws. It's crazy. Yeah, Australia and the laws around everything is pretty rough. Same for Europe. If you're a European and you live in Europe, you have to deal with a bunch of rules. And if they are bored of the current rules, they will find new rules. And they build rules upon rules. And then once they've done that, they build another set of rules because they're bored about their own rules, and they build new rules upon those rules. And before you know it, you need to ask the government if you can wipe your ass with toilet paper, and if the toilet paper is 1 layer, 2 layers, or 3 layers. Now, if it's 3 layers, you need to pay environmental tax. So if you want to wipe your ass with 3 layers, it's fine, but you need to pay some environmental tax on that. Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt. It does look like it wants to come down. It does. It doesn't look super strong. There's a lot of suppression, clearly. Not gonna deny this, of course. It's definitely what we're seeing here. But yeah, would I feel super comfortable selling here? No, absolutely not. Paro, bro, thanks for the Telegram recap video. Really good. I'm going to make an update video very soon. I'm going to put it in Telegram. My goal with Telegram right now is to just start adding in more and more videos as well. Yeah, more and more videos. Specifically doing my analysis and breakdowns as well here. Also, and maybe during like things like the London or the New York session, for example, when I'm not on YouTube right now at the moment, that we have at least a video. So I'm planning to do this. So if you're interested in that, then you can join the free group. I will not always see something clear on New York. Sometimes New York is very vague in terms of setups. Sometimes New York needs to develop to show some clarity. Why is there a difference? There's a difference between the daily candle has already developed, right? For a while. Asia is easier because the candle opens up. The daily candle opens up and usually you tap into critical levels immediately. New York already has a daily candle that has developed. So if there is a big move in Asia or London, then you're always going to think in New York, is this the reversal or is this the continuation? Whereas in Asia, you don't have to think about that. In Asia, you usually think about the move itself, the first move of the day. So yeah, New York usually need a little bit more extra context, confirmation stuff. Completely different way of trading, by the way. Trading Asia versus New York. All right, we're going to give it a little bit more time. 10 minutes. And we'll see what happens, right? Stop should be on break even. You should have taken profit already. And if you don't trust it, just get out of the position. If you think this looks too sketchy, like this guy said in the chat, this looks too weak, just get out of the trade. It's a good trade. I also took profits as well. I have a smaller position still running. So in case we get there at the low volume node or the value high, we'll still have a nice extra additional layer. And I still think that as long as we're holding this support here, that there is a chance that we could. But for now, there's not a lot of momentum anymore. Okay. Joshua, random. I know, but for your kids, I suggest having mixed raised babies. I mean, I'm British and Jamaican. I live in China. All right, that's good to know. Well, my kids are mixed. Okay. My kids are mixed raised babies. So that's already good. I'm already mixed. You don't see it, but I'm already mixed. You know? I mean, not mixed race, I guess. Maybe a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know how you want to call it. My mother is fully Dutch and my father is fully Italian. Yeah, wow. So we had a major sell-off during the Asian session here. We started streaming around this moment when we started to drop. We bought at the bottom Like the bottom of the bottom. Couldn't buy lower. Price shoot up. A lot of momentum, a lot of volume in the market. And then after, I would say 950, the market started to enter like a range and it started to slow down. And it's just dying. It's just dying out a little bit. So yeah, I'm not really a big fan of like these low volume areas or sessions to like start entering trades. So I'm happy that we entered before. If you traded the daily open, of course, you had immediate sells and then the confirmation of sells and the continuation. So that was the biggest move of the day, but you had to wake up either very early or you had to trade early in the evening if you were from the US or something, right at the open. Do you have Italian citizenship? I actually do not, but I can get it in a week if I want to. Just have to apply for it. It's going down, yo. It's clearly coming down right now. You see it, right? You don't have to ask me if it's going down. Perfect. I decided to wait a little bit longer. So let's see if we can, if we'll actually pull back. So I keep hammering on taking profits, guys. Really, it changes everything. So important. Yo, my man. Time to eat. How are you, man? Hope you're doing well, brother. Looks like you had a great month of June. Saw your video, loved it. Very nice, man. Very consistent. Beautiful. Looks like we're still bearish and then boom. Reversal candle. Again. Oh, wow, what a reversal again, right? Constantly holding that level. Yeah. So the 4126 was the best possible entry for us, at least during the New York, for our session personally. It was the best entry. It really sniped the bottom here. We took profits at the right moment. It gives us a lot of room, right, to manage the trade, to keep a position open, which allows us to see where we are holding that support here. And that's the power of limit orders. Truly the power of limit orders. If you snipe a good limit order, then you have a lot of room, a lot of room to work with, to manage the trade. But yeah, it's a 50-50 from here. It's a bit, the market is a little bit rough. After this drop and retest, we're dying off slowly. We're still seeing these impulses. But yeah, we're definitely we're not breaking any structure to the upside. We're only breaking structure to the downside internally. Do you think we could sweep the previous lows? No, we've been in this major zone right there around the NFP. I think that is such an important candle. The NFP 4-hour candle, such an important candle to work with. And yeah, regardless, we're still seeing a lot of absorption here. So let's see where this candle closes. But it started to look a little more bearish for sure right now. If we start closing below here, it's not really a good look here. But hey, anything can shift in 30 minutes. We know that. We know that anything is possible. I would not thinking about re-entering though, in my opinion. I would not considering re-entries. I think that we've done what we had to do. Get in, take profits, and just leave a runner in case we do break to the 50s or the 55s was the actual target. Where is your live account challenge at right now? Right now we're sitting at 18,900. 18,900. So we started with 6,000, roughly speaking. And we are now at 18,900. And we started at the 16th of June. We're doing a small live account challenge. And our win rate has been above the 77%. Actually more right now, but that's just now. Okay, that's not an average. We're gonna encounter some losses too, and then at some point in time, so we'll see later on what the actual risk, what the actual win rate will be. Prince Marcano says, first I analyzed market and I made a short trade and I'm sure I'm going to make profit and you're going to take a loss. So please close your trade here or take a loss. Kicker Alex, do not long this, bro. I think a lot of people entered the stream later on. Let's pull back a little bit to what happened here, my friend. So I can understand it because we have been streaming for a while already, so you cannot blame them for it. Okay, this is why it's so important to hop on the streams as early as you can. So what do we do? We set the limit order at 4126. While we were waiting. Price was not doing anything here. Waiting for price to come down. It looked very scary, to be honest. When price started to push down. Price came down. Price tapped into our limit order. We got activated. And price shoot up. We took profit. Stop loss went to our entry. And then price came up a bit more. But unfortunately, we did find resistance at the 44. And we couldn't break it. We could not break that resistance, and our target was at the 55. Yeah. So now we're just waiting to see if we can hold our partials, the remaining of our entry, or if we will come back to our entry, and then that's it. Tommy says that 426 to 32 level is a strong buying zone. Yeah, this is a very important level too. As you can see, it's a very important level right now. We're constantly trying to, we're consistently trying to hold here. But it's one thing market holding support, and it's another thing the market breaking structure. We're clearly not breaking structure, you know what I mean, anymore. But we just have to be patient, because the thing about this Asian session is that you could see like a quick impulse move out of nowhere. It happens a lot of times that you could see a break and an impulse move, and then boom, out of nowhere, a huge volume comes in. And that's short term, and then, you know, it slowly starts to dial in again. By the way, thank you guys for the love and support, man. I really do appreciate it a lot. I love the Asian streams with you guys in the morning. It's a bit of a longer stream today, but usually we stream around 2 hours. Nothing too crazy. But we're still in that trade, right? So we have to manage it a little bit. But I really appreciate the support. Really. Thank you guys for all the love. We almost had 1,000 subscribers this stream. It's great. It's ridiculous. And 1,000 likes. Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys, really. So much better trading with you guys than trading alone. Trading alone is a bit boring. Hopefully we break out though. That would be nice. But it's I don't see the buying volume needed there. I don't see the buying pressure. I see the absorption, yes, for sure. Absorption of sellers, 100%. We are in a major zone here. Now we need to see the buyer step in. You know, that aggressive buying, these like nice big green fat ass candles. But we don't really see that. So what I see is a lot more sellers than buyers in general. But at the same time, we can break structure. Like we haven't broken the lows. You know, we can break anything. Would you ever do the 24-hour stream again? Maybe at some point. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I would love to do like a... yeah, get some other traders here in Bali. And actually invite them on the stream and stuff. I would actually love to do something like that. Okay. Okay, guys, I need to go in like 5 minutes. So if I have literally 5 minutes left, I have to go. Should I have a meeting in a second here? So yeah. Yeah, you guys know what we've tried to do here. Okay, I hope you took profits as well, like we did. And some people even closed it a bit higher. Yeah, clearly it was important to do so. I'm going to leave a little bit of a runner running. If it goes, it goes. If not, I'm completely fine. We are green for the day or for the session again. And our winning streak continues, I would say. Yeah, the winning streak yesterday and then today. So we're on the right track to continue. And we started July good. This is important. We are now, of course, on a Tuesday run. Okay. July so far has been a nice start. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep you guys updated. I will post a Telegram update later today in the New York session, I think. This time. So if you have, or if you are not in my Telegram group yet, my free group yet, then I will do that. You find my journal in here. Pretty much my trades are all shared inside of my Telegram. It's kind of like my personal journal. And I will start incorporating as well a lot more ideas. Maybe shorter videos, analysis updates, but also, you know, discussions around trades. For example, sometimes what happens on the stream is that we don't enter on the stream because we cannot. It's just not there. The right setup is not there. But I see a setup that I would take, and then it happens later, right? That's also a reason for you to be in Telegram, because if it happens later, then you will be updated inside of this group as well. Okay? So we have a link in the chat. You can join it for free, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys? But I have to go right now. I have a meeting in a couple minutes. Okay? And yeah, we have been streaming already for around 2 hours and 15 minutes. Oh, there we go already. You see it? It's breaking already. Anyways, I really have to go now. All right? Good that you took profit. I hope you took profits. Like ourselves, I think most people did. Most people listened. They took profits. They made some money today. That was the main goal, of course. Like every day. But we're doing our best. We're doing our best to show you the why behind it. And yeah, the thought process behind all our setups and stuff. All right, I'm gonna come back tomorrow again, same time, 8:30. I'm gonna try to be a little bit earlier because you see, it really is important to be there on point, on time. I really do my absolute best to be there. 8:45, 8:30, 8:45 p.m. EST. So for me, that's 8:30, 8:45 in the morning. For you, it's probably in the evening, but it's the New York time, 8:45 p.m. EST New York time. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. All right, guys. Love you guys and take care. And yeah, man. Make money. All right. Do your best. See you guys all. Thank you. Perfect. Perfect timing. All right. Take care, guys. See you guys later on. It was a good session. And much love. See you guys soon. Ciao, ciao.